Welcome, Sahil. Welcome to the Founder Talk Show.
Thank you, sir. It's a pleasure for me, and thank you for inviting me over here. It's a pleasure to be on your show.
Same here. Sahil, EduTech is the toast of investors today. There are many startups in India, and likes of Byju's have become unicorn. Your startup is also into education space or EduTech space. How is your startup different to other likes of Ahaguru or Vedantu, which are already in the market?
So, being entering into a new market and having understood that edtech industry is going to be a mushroom growth in upcoming times, correct? There was always a question about what USP you bring onto the plate. So, the biggest strength of Edvicon Educare is about customization. Because there are a lot of students who actually go across all the market leaders in the companies and I've interacted across 100 more students with which are spread over more than 20 states in India. The common issue which many of the students actually have faced is they do not get customization as per them. So Edvicon Educare specialize more and more into a personalized coaching platform program where the faculties are from the top management institutes where the knack of teaching is their strength. So the teaching pedagogy at Edvicon Educare is completely customized and based as per the student's requirement. It's not a structured platform. Because what I believe and what the company values and the mission says that every student has its personal strength and weakness. So to customize an entire platform for them is going to be the strength. So if any student comes up to us and says this is my requirement, we customize the entire plan. We understand the requirement, specify on the strengths, and our major objective is to get output on the final day. So when we talk about output on the final day, it's about all about aptitude training examination, and our entire concern is marks. Because what happens is at a lot of edtech companies in India, the quality of coaching is extremely good, but the interaction of the students with the faculty on a personal level basis, the customization of them. So to give you a real life example about how do a student helps themselves to get a good B school or get into the desired job with regards to aptitude, his aptitude has to be his own strength. So for that, he has to understand its strengths and weaknesses. Everyone is going to have his different strengths and weaknesses. So customization is going to be the extreme key, and that's what's going to be the success factor and the mantra for Edvicon Educare. Because what we believe is every child has his unique strength and weakness, and that's where we belong, and we help them in categorization of their product with respect to the strength.
So, as a platform, what grades? I mean, up to what level do you provide this coaching?
So when I talk about our services, we are professional, experienced, and professionalized in aptitude training. So when we talk about aptitude training, our key products are management in India. When you talk about any entrance examination, if you want to do your MBA in India, be it CAT, SNAP, NMAT, ZAT, we are extremely specialized with that. I have been teaching students since last 6.5 years, having trained more than a couple of lakh students who have entered IIM Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, all the top-notch colleges in India. One is this. Second is we are also specialized into GRE, GMAT training, IELTS, TOEFLs, which if you want to do masters across the globe, you have to give this entrance exam. So this is our primarily this is our second product. We also help students who aspire to get into a banking job. So all the IBS, PO, mains, clerk examination that involves aptitude training, we help them. We also train students on the training basis for law entrance exams. So both the 3 years and the 5 years CLAT as well as the MSCT. Another segment which is going to be extremely key and which is going to be a defining segment for an Indian economy in a long run period is going to be the BBA programs. Because when you see up to 12th standard, the BBA programs have been now much more structured than what they were 5 years back. When you look at the IIM Indore or IIM Rohtak or NM programs which they have designed, it's extremely professionalized. It actually helps you to set a base for your MBA or masters. Correct. So the aptitude training for all these examinations with respect to your post 12 standard entrance exams is also something which is our strength. So we help us to be a one-stop training platform for aptitude training. That's the reason why we again and again use the word aptitude training. 3 months down the line, we are also going to have a CRT program, which is campus recruitment training, tied up with almost 40 colleges in India, in Bombay specifically, for enabling the students to crack aptitude training when it comes to entrance into the corporates also.
You've been saying that your program is customized to the requirements or the needs of the students, right? So, is it fair to assume that these are not recorded programs like Byju's does? and or it's a hybrid, some part recorded and some one-on-one?
When we talk about customization, it has to be a live interaction. So all my classes are going to be a live interaction where it's a basic interaction where as a live example of us will be where you and me are speaking, right? So it's going to be a platform where there's going to be a whiteboard. The faculty is live. It's going to be taught to the students. It's going to be one-on-one basis as well. It's going to be in a group of 5 as well. I do not believe in a sprint where I make 50 to 100 students sit in the batch, because again, the entire essence of students getting the customized program goes for a toss. So it's going to be a live lectures. Plus, we also have a mobile application which is going to be which is designed as per an individual customized manner. When I talk about individual customized manner, the structure and the pattern is same for everyone, but the input is as per input is something which student has to fill. So when a student fills that input on a personal level basis, the entire customization program gives us the optimum results for him. Okay. To understand what is his strength, what has to be his short-term goals, 2 months down the line, what has to be his objective with respect to understanding his strength and weakness in 2 weeks down the line. So it's an entire platform that we have customized as to student. So we have live lectures, we have pre-recorded lectures as well. So we try to give maximum content to the students with respect to aptitude training.
Tell us something about your startup as to when did you start? What's the traction that you have achieved so far for the benefit of probably investors who would watch this program?
So to give you a date, it was on 3rd of September 2021 that we actually started. It's being a new company. It's being a 6 month old company. The number to highlight is we have achieved almost 100 students in less than 6 months. So being a startup, it's a very good number because we have crossed approximately around 20 states of India. We have students across 20 states of India. When you talk about valuation, when you talk about the business that we have done, we have crossed more than 25 lakh rupees in less than 5 months. And when I talk about all these numbers, we need to understand one fundament is the peak season is yet to start. When I talk about the peak season, it's going to be March, April, May, June, July, August. These are the 5 months. It's going to be make or break for any edtech company who focuses on aptitude training. So in a non-peak season, this numbers justifies good because I already come up from an background of working in an edtech space for 5.5 years with another edtech company, where these were the numbers we were able to achieve in a span of 2.5 years, which we have already done in 5 months. So that's about global internal perspective with regards to the company numbers.
For the students out there who are listening to this program or watching this program, what would you still tell them? Why should they choose you over your competitors?
Again, the same specifics will come into the picture. If you want to get result on the final day, you have to ensure that someone has to have a personal mentorship program, or there has to be a mentor who is going to guide you at every different stage of life, because it's not going to be a general pattern. When you talk about learning technical concept, when you talk about formulas, there are more than 1.5 lakh very eligible and very qualified faculties across the country who are going to teach you. If you want to learn only concepts and formulas, there are a lot of people. If you want to ensure about where are you actually heading towards, what's going to be your actual roadmap, how are you actually defining yourself, there are a lot of students who do not understand where to have the checkpoints. So when I talk about checkpoints, if you're preparing for a span of 9 months, you need to have particular checkpoints where you understand where do you stand after 2 months. It's not you study for 6 months, post that you're going to automatically start getting results. It's not going to happen like that. It has to be a success measure, parameters has to be defined, and it has to have a mentor who continuously guides you on a personal level. So if you're looking something for that, if you're looking for something customized program which is going to be defined as per your strength, we need to understand, because any money that we invest has to be output on the final day in terms of marks. Because till the time you do not get marks, however extremely talented you are, the B school do not define your criteria about getting into it. Because every B school or every entrance exam, you talk about banking, you want to get into a banking job, you want to get into a dream B school, you want to get into the desired law college that you always wish to get, or you want to get into a BBA program, right? There's always a cutoff, correct? So if we are smart enough, we have to make sure that whatever happens, score and marks on the final day is going to be extremely crucial. And we have to measure that on a very timely basis. We cannot have 6 months. So what happens with 80% of the students is 80% of the students, when they actually prepare for their examination, say for a span, they're studying for 8 months, correct? 6 months, first 6 months, you do not understand the objective that they're studying. They might be very well versed with the topics, but they do not know how is it going to impact themselves on the final day. So you need to understand the first thing that when you talk about aptitude training, it's going to be a percentile exam. It's not a percentage. When I talk about being a percentile exam, it's going to be a rank-based exam. It's very clearly defined about how smart you are from the kid or the guy or the girl sitting next to you. So it's going to be a percentile exam. So you need to be extremely smart from day one. What's going to be extremely important for you is you need to know the paper that's going to be there. If you start studying for 6 months and you do not know what's exactly going to come in the exam, the roadmap is unclear. So if you look at any journey of any sports person or anything, even if you look up at a normal travel journey, the first thing that we decide is destination. We understand the destination, then we decide the roadmap, correct? So for us, that has to be the same rule which has to be applied with the aptitude training also, because we need to understand what's going to come in the paper first. When we do that, when we understand that will help us to ensure that we are on the correct preparation map. So customization, personal mentorship, and your growth mentorship program is going to be an essential key. Why do I not specify again and again on the conceptual training and the technical part of it, or giving mocks? Because that is something that happens at every edtech company in India. Everyone is very specialized with that. And with due respect to everyone, we need to grow with respect to customization. So that's what our strength is, and that's what we believe will help you to get the desired results.
Thank you, Sahil. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to hosting you on some of our other shows. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. It was a pleasure being over here. Thank you.
Same here.